Welcome back to the crack. Last night I decided to fill in a little test area and I think it's going to work. This stuff does shrink a little bit as it dries, so after sanding I find I've still got a slight dip in there, so I need to be a bit more generous when I put it on so there's more available to sand away. But it's going to work. Quite pleased with that. So I just need to go along the edge of this crack and look for the feathered edges that are still liable to flake off, and I need to chip those away just with a hammer. So it needs to get worse before it gets better, but it should be pretty easy. So I've been along with the hammer and I've now got to the point where if I'm quite rough with it with a screwdriver, scraping the edge, I'm not getting any flakes coming off now. It feels like if a ball drops on it, it's not going to break any further. Let's get this done. Dried out, hoovered clean, brushed clean. To make sure there's a bit sticking up on top that can be sanded off later. The crack is filled, the filler has gone off. There's nothing special about this, by the way, it's just some body filler I had. And now the tedious task of sanding it down. This could take a while. I think wet sanding it is actually going better. It's certainly creating less dust. Maybe that's how you're supposed to sand filler. I probably should have looked it up. Oh well. Well, I think I'm done sanding. After about an hour and a half of wet sanding, I cannot feel that at all. Looks like one of those resin river tables that are terribly popular on YouTube at the moment. Actually, I say I'm finished. Just as I thought I'd finished, I found a little dent that needs doing. Typical. You can see how this side is crisp and this side is feathered, which tells me this slate has in fact dropped by a fraction of a millimetre. But that's probably still flatter than I could have ever glued the two pieces back together. So I shall live with it. Can't feel the difference, but it must be there. So tune in again for recovering. Look, I'm doing transitions now.